Water Park in Orlando, Florida. Thanks for joining us today for our presentation and webinar on how to sell income-producing property during COVID-19. Today, your presenter will be Leslie O'Neill, but before we begin, locate the chat section at the bottom of your screen. After the presentation is complete, we will open up this chat section for questions. Without further ado, here's Leslie O'Neill.
Well, hello everybody and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm assuming most of you are even working from home, or you might have ventured into the office. These are definitely challenging times right now. But I just want to go through what we're doing here at the Grove to help your buyers and investors still look to purchase a property here. If you have any questions, type them in the chat bar. We'll go over them at the end. Again, thank you, Brett. He's going to keep an eye on those questions for me. And let me just start the presentation and we'll go along from there. So this is, again, how you can sell income-producing property during the COVID-19 crisis. My details are there, Leslie O'Neill, with my phone number and email, and I'm hoping that most of you in the webinar right now do know me, but hopefully there's a few new people. Behind me, you see the beautiful Grove. One of the sales executives here, and I've worked here for almost 2 years, and I can tell you it's the best job I ever had. I love it. It's a beautiful place. So, you know, we are in challenging times. What we found with the people that are looking for financing right now is that the mortgage, departments have pulled back their lending. So we really are in a holding pattern at the moment. But for the cash buyers, we're still here. We can show you how to close remotely. And we're moving forward. We do have a solution, so keep pen and paper ready, and I'm going to go through that for you. So we're going to go over what the experts are going to say about the Orlando real estate rebound. Going to go over where our international buyers are still coming from. More importantly, how your clients can still earn long-term US dollar income, and how the seller financing works for international buyers. And again, with commissions probably drying up a little bit for most of you realtors in the regular real estate market, we're going to show you how you can still sell here and get commission really pretty quickly, and how your clients can buy and close on a condo here without even leaving their home, and no embassy appointment required. So we've got a few things about what the experts are saying about the real estate rebound here and why Orlando is going to rebound. We just get to get through this. So Orlando is the #1 most visited place on earth. We have 75 million visitors in 2018. We had 80 million visitors in 2019. And the experts told us we were on track for 100 million visitors in 2023. So of course, there's a lot of expansion, a lot of building and construction in Orlando, and more visitors all the time. So we will definitely rebound. So don't fear there. Our airport, we're the most busiest airport with 875 flights daily and over 95,000 passengers. And Orlando is the destination for these people. We're not counting the people that land to go on to somewhere else. We're not a hub like Detroit, Chicago, or Houston, New York. We're actually a destination for people that want to come here. They want to visit their second home. They want to visit their investment. They want to take their families here, enjoy the theme parks, the beaches, and just spend time making memories. And this is what it's all about, as well as having a real estate investment, which will increase in equity over time. We're the theme park capital of the world. Disney, they've got 4 theme parks. We've got Universal with their 2. And they are scheduled to open a brand new theme park that's being built. I believe it's located just east of International Drive, north of the Shingle Rosen Hotel. And it's going to be called Epic Universe. And they've scheduled that to be ready in 2023. So that's going to bring more jobs, more people, just going to be great for everybody and families too. The Virgin Train expansion, so that's going to be completed from West Palm Beach right up into Orlando International Airport in 2022. And once they've done that, they're going to further expand the Virgin Train right to Walt Disney World. So that's really something to look forward to, and just further confirmation that Disney's not going anywhere. We're located 4 miles from Disney. We're not going anywhere. So everything just adds up to a really great investment in Orlando here. We brought in Orlando City Soccer, so that's something that's definitely grown over the years, and now the stadiums are full when they play. I believe their schedule, they are going to be playing games, but they're going to delay till about mid-June before they get started there, as far as I've found out there. So really, we're one of the top American cities in the USA. So these are some updates from Visit Orlando. Conventions is a really big business for Orlando, and that's where we get a lot of our income and money from. And in fact, at the Grove, we have had to reschedule for later in the year, as had the Orlando Convention Center. But even during this time, the Grove secured 17 new conventions for later in the year. So we have not stopped getting the business here, putting out the marketing and the advertising. We really are busy behind the scenes in doing that. Of course, airlines have taken a hit. 4 and 5 have delayed their travel plans. But once everybody's a bit more comfortable and the phase 1, 2, and 3 are brought back into place by the governors and the government, then I think you'll see definitely people they're going to forget easily, and they're going to get back into traveling and investing again. So we have to be ready and know what we're talking about here. Year to year in March, there was actually still a 0.8% rise in home sales, but it did fall month to month this year. But we knew that all real estate was going to take a hit. I mean, we have as well, but we still have our cash buyers out there that have not stopped. And we just continue to market and talk to new business every day. And the other good thing is, with people looking for mortgages, the federal rates have gone lower. So if you're still looking for a mortgage, now is the time to take advantage of that. So that was a really good side effect there. And although the international buyers have fallen off a little bit, the domestic buyers have come back stronger because they know the US dollar is strong. So things have not slowed down there at all. In fact, Forbes magazine last year said that the best market for real estate was Orlando. We were ranked #1 with a 10% increase year by year in equity. So again, this isn't going anywhere. We have a lot to offer. So just keep telling your buyers and investments, just look at all the good things that are going on right now. So if you think of the crash in 2008, this is a completely different scenario. Back in 2008, the banks were over leveraged. Everything got into a really big mess, and that's what held us up for years. But this is different. This is like a government executive order to stay safe for health purposes. And once we get past that in the next couple of months, we're going to bounce back strong. The banks are going to have plenty of money to lend, and we have ways of making sure that that happens for your investors. We feel that the economy is strong, the US dollar is strong, it's the most valuable currency in the world. And investors always know that there's always an opportunity in a crisis. If you were one of the stockholders that had Zoom stocks 3 months ago, or you're probably a millionaire by now. On the other side, if you were one that invested in a lot of the travel stocks, then I guess you have taken a hit, but just hang in there, it will all come back. People are very forgiving. So our international buyers, they're still coming from mostly Canada, because they just pop over the border and here they are. And then the rest of the 4 other countries are all South American countries. They want to buy with US dollars, have a real estate investment in US dollars, and get their income in US dollars. So they want a steady source of income, which I'm going to show you how your investors can do that with the Grove. And as well as getting that investment, they're always going to make sure it's a secure investment. And income producing properties, they're what's going to take them through these times, because people that had a job to go to have lost that. But if you had an income producing property, you would have got that income no matter what. We do have, of course, leasebacks in place for most of our owners here at the Grove. And even during this quiet time, when our occupancy went from in the 80 to 90% range right down into like the 10% range, we still ensured that all of our owners that were getting the leaseback, they got their income like we promised on the 20th of the month. We have not let up on any of our payments. We've had emails and we've had phone calls and video testimonials from owners just saying how pleased they are that they bought at the Grove, and they're rest assured to see that their check went into the bank every month like we promised, and we will not let them down. So here's a bit about BTI Partners, who are the builders and developers of the Grove, just to show your customers what a good developer that they're getting involved with. They're 70 years of experience in the market, a family-owned business, done over $3.5 billion worth of real estate transactions, and just keep moving forward. They're looking for more opportunities. And this picture that you see on your right, that is Marina Point, which is located in Tampa. That is currently under construction right now. That's going to be a residential development for people that they want to live there. They can shop there. There's restaurants, stores, there's boat slips, marina. So that's definitely coming, and it's being worked on right now. With a very solid company, they're the ones that are ensuring that all our current owners are getting their monthly income as we promised. Paramount Hospitality Management, so they're our management company. They're the only one that we have at the Grove. That makes sure that everybody's on the same page. There's no competition, nobody, fighting for lowest rates with each other. Everyone's on the same page, which enables the nightly rates to go higher and higher, and then everybody gets more and more income, which is what we all want to do. They're a local company with 20 years in the business. They're focused on the condo hotel segment. So they haven't spread themselves thin by doing, single family homes and all over Florida. They have concentrated in the condo market, which their other developments are Floridays. We have the Point and Avante, and now we have the Grove. And while we are really quiet right now, Paramount is right in there. We're doing painting, we're cleaning, we're making sure the Grove and the investors' properties are kept bang up to condition and prime condition for moving forward. And we also became a Walt Disney Good Neighbor Hotel just at the end of last year. And that's an awesome accolade to have. The reason we got that is because we are so close to Disney. We are a 4-star luxury resort. We have excellent service. We have excellent accommodations. And when Disney's hotels are full, they send their overflow guests to us. So now we can put them up on our property, and that puts up our occupancy rate, and Disney is rest assured that their guests are going to get the same experience that they would have had at Disney. So it's a really great thing, a really great partnership. And we also have a Disney shuttle at the Grove that goes several times a day to the Disney resort, free for guests and owners, and everybody really enjoys that. So great builder, great management company, a very secure, worry-free partnership there. So how can your clients earn the long-term income? So most people, people don't want to buy anything that doesn't have a solution. If you need transportation, you buy a car. If you're hungry, you buy food. Well, if you want to have income, then you buy an investment property. And here, the investment lease back at the Grove is like nothing else that anyone offers. We are going to guarantee 10% annual gross income all the way until June of 2022. So more than 2 years of guaranteeing a monthly check, no matter what the occupancy of our hotel, like in times like this. So whether we rent your condo for 1 night or 30 nights, the investor is going to get that monthly check in their bank account. But because it's such a great deal, we have to say it's a Lucky 13 program. So only the first 13 contracts of each month are going to be allowed to get this deal. So make sure that you advertise, that you market, and tell your investors how good is it to get a guaranteed 10% in markets like this. For international buyers or even domestic buyers, we thought about how the mortgage market has frozen at the moment. And of course, with cash buyers, we can do that anytime. But for the mortgages, we have come up with seller financing and a low monthly payment to help people still purchase, get into their property, and not stress over the income and how they're going to pay things. So how this works is they put down 45% as a down payment. We are going to give them a 55% loan. It's going to be at a 7.5% interest rate, and it's going to be interest only. We're going to make it a 3-year term. So that keeps the interest, the payment very low. It is the developer and owner, BTI partners, that have come up with this because we want to keep things moving. We don't want to just stop because the other outside mortgage markets have frozen at the moment. So we were very creative, and we think we came up with a wonderful option for people. The whole process can be done from home, online, and remotely. And the only documentation we really need, apart from ID and everything, is just to show us where your down payment came from. It all can be done by DocuSign, things like that, which I'll go into a little bit later. But it's an excellent opportunity to get your buyer's foot in the door here. So how you can earn commission on a new deal within 4 to 6 weeks? Of course, cash is always first. As soon as you close, you will get your commission check, which is 10% to the broker. But if your buyer has decided to go with the seller financing and put down 45%, there is a bit more paperwork while that mortgage gets put in place. But we're going to pay you half of your commission, 50% of your commission, as soon as we get the 45% deposit. So you don't have to wait too long in times like this. And then you'll get the rest of your commission balance at closing. So appointment, we don't even have to do that any longer. Thanks to this COVID crisis, we came up with more innovative ideas, and we now have a remote notary. So what you would do is you would meet your sales executive, so with me and you and your investor on a call. We'll learn all about the resort, go through the rental program, the leaseback program. I can show you virtual tours of each of the floor plans. We go through the available condos, the pricing, pick one out. Once they've got that, we'll write a contract, send it out by DocuSign. Then the deposit comes in by a simple wire or online transaction. And then we will help you all with the seller financing paperwork. We will email that out to you again with DocuSign. We can do that all remotely as well. And then the closing is done with an online notary. We record it electronically, and then that night you will start making, or your client will start making income for the condo that they just bought. So this is it. This is our Whole Grove Resort here. Absolutely beautiful. My information is here. So please contact me, call me, text me. I have WhatsApp as well for the same phone number. And let's move forward together and get some new buyers for this wonderful property. So I'm just going to go over to Brett now real quickly and see if there was any questions that came in.
Great job, Leslie. As I open up the chat box for questions, if an agent has a client they want to register, what do they need to do?
So it's very important for all the agents out there to register the name as soon as you start talking to someone. As much information as you can email me or text me, the better. But at the very minimum, a name. But better still, an email or phone number, where they're from, and we can start then. We will send the information to them. We have brochures, PDFs, videos, and you will be copied into everything so that you know exactly what is going on. I believe everybody that's registered is going to get a link to our broker kit. And in the broker kit, you'll find a lot of information, PDFs of all our brochures in different languages. We have videos in different languages and photographs, and any of that you're free to use and market as much as you want. But definitely register by emailing as soon as possible. That ensures if your buyer decides to go off and check out the Grove on their own and then they make an inquiry, that it's still tied right back to you and you are protected.
Great. You actually answered several other questions with that one. Do you know of any other properties offering a 2-year guaranteed leaseback?
I really do not know of any property that's offering a guaranteed leaseback, at least not one that's actually existing. You know, the Grove is existing, it is built, all the amenities are built and open and functioning. So we're ready to go from day one. So I believe we're the only one offering the guaranteed leaseback right now.
Next question is, can you explain a little more about how the 10% guarantee works? How is that calculated?
So the 10% guarantee goes on the net purchase price of your unit. So if we, for instance, say it was like 380,000, I mean, I believe they start from 370,000 and up, fully furnished. We would take 10% of the purchase price, which in this case is $38,000. If you divide that by 12, I believe we get $3,166. That is going to be the guaranteed monthly income to the customer, the owner, every single month until the 30th of June 2022. And I don't know of anywhere else offering that, not the stock market, not banks, nothing. So, I mean, so many people say, wouldn't it be nice to see into the future to see what was going to happen with a stock or lottery numbers or something? Well, this is your lottery. We just brought the Grove lottery right to your door. So.
Great. One of the other questions is some of the countries have some difficulty getting the money out of the other country. Which ones are difficult to transfer into the U.S.?
I obviously think it depends on each country as it is. I believe that we used to have quite a lot of buyers from China, but I think the restrictions in there are a bit limited now. Vietnam, I've worked with buyers from Vietnam. They have a 30-day window where they have to have their money in a savings account and then out. But whatever country you're from, just contact me. I'll contact someone in our contracts department, sales department, and we'll work out something for them to help them. Yeah. Okay.
Cam wants to know, is the 10% lease back net or before any fees?
It's a gross, 10% gross lease back. So once they get that $3,000 plus per month, after that, there's going to be the owner expenses off of that. So property taxes and CDD, inside insurance, and we have been told that they can now waive the HOA fee as well for the Lucky 13 until June 2022. So typically there would be an HOA fee which covers all the utilities. So in this case, we would waive the HOA and they're going to get free utilities for over 2 years as well. So, you know, there's nothing to stop these investors thinking this is a really great deal. Yeah.
Leslie, what happens after June 2022?
So after June 2022, we have the regular rental program that would be, of course, it's all under Paramount, but they just have a different rental program. And at that case, it would just be a slightly different, a percentage of revenue that comes in would then go to Paramount and the rest would go to the owner. We don't know what exactly will be in place in 2 years' time. It'll just be the next rental program. So let's get there first and enjoy the fruits of your investment until then.
Okay. In the event the occupancy creates income over the guarantee, who would get the balance or anything above the 10%?
Yeah. Well, the guarantee is just the 10%. So anything over the balance, they're not going to get any overage. It's a set fee. That's why if it's rented for 1 day per month, they're going to get that monthly income. And if it's more than that, they would still get the same monthly income because we guarantee the 10%. And it's to balance everything. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Do we work with international companies, investment companies dealing with foreign clients on the same basis commission as the U.S. brokers?
So if you work with a foreign broker, and we have many of our realtors in Orlando that then have another broker maybe in South America or something that they deal with, but we do not do split commissions. So if the broker in Orlando wants to work with a broker in South America, that is entirely up to the Orlando broker to work out a referral fee with them separately from us. We do not get involved in the split commission side. It's 10% to the broker that brings in that buyer. After that, it's up to them how they distribute it, and through their broker, they would be able to do that.
Okay. How much are the HOA fees?
So HOA fees, which again cover all utilities, including electric, water, phone, internet, pest control, and the exterior building insurance, start at $555 per month for a 2-bedroom, all the way up to $677 per month for our largest one, which is the Sable, which is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. But it's a set monthly HOA fee. And again, in the Lucky 13, with the lease back, we're going to waive the HOA fee for any investor that takes advantage of that, which is fantastic.
Okay, we had another question regarding to where agents can find the marketing material in the different languages and the presentations and the brochures. So let's go over that one more time.
Okay, so everybody that's on this webinar, we would have got your email address. So I'm going to email every one of you, and I'm going to include a link to our broker kit. It's a link. Once you open it, you're going to see all the brochures in PDF form in different languages. When you click on it, just click the little download arrow, and that will download onto your laptop. So from there, you can decide, you know, Mr. Smith gets this one in English, and Mr. you know, Carlos gets this one in Spanish, or whatever language or whatever country they're from. So you can decide who gets what in each language, which is really great. And we're going to email you that link. But if you need any more, just email me back for whatever you need.
All right, so after the lease back is over, Leslie, who dictates the rental night fees, and are there premiums for better views?
So the Paramount was in control of the fees per night. And again, this depends on the season, the availability, what's going on around the resort. But of course, Paramount's trying to get as much nightly fee in as possible, because there's no set management fee for Paramount. The only fee they take is the percentage of the revenue that they get. So it's in their best interest to rent out the property for as much per night and as often as they can. There are premiums for a customer. There's premiums for water views and water park views. And again, if it's Christmas, Easter, that would be a higher nightly rate as well. And if you're buying a unit, that also reflects as well the purchase price of the unit, starting at $370. It goes up depending on the size of the unit, which floor you're on. The higher the floor, and we have 7 floors, the higher the floor, the price goes up as well, and the view and the location. So it's all taken into account, and the price of the unit is decided by the developer, but when it comes to a guest renting a unit, that's decided by Paramount.
All right, another question here. Once the lease back ends, can they manage it themselves? And can you speak on that for just a little bit?
Yeah, if you do want to go and if you do want to just take the lease back to the end and then manage it yourself after that, you can do that. What you'd have to do with your management company that you bring in would have to produce all the insurance and valid documents and licenses to say that they can do that. But everybody that comes in has to then go through that management company. The owner has to email the management company. They have to go and get the key from the front desk. It can be a little bit tricky going back and forth. If there's a problem in the unit, the guest would not be able to call down to the front desk. So the way that Paramount have done it is we really want everybody on the same page. So it does make sense to keep Paramount, and I would say give it a chance before you try and do your own. We're not saying you cannot do it, but there's an awful lot more involved, and I can talk to you more on that if anybody wants to know more about how that would work.
Great, Leslie, that looks like it was our final question.
Okay.
We can give it a couple more seconds to see if any additional come in. Still looks like the last one.
Okay.
Thank you everybody for attending the webinar today. Have a great afternoon.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you everybody for attending. I know it's hard to schedule things into the day, but thank you so much for attending, and I hope to hear from you all soon in due course. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.